Recording start.
Good, right?
Recording start. Audio recording. So we just wait for water and we can start.
I'm sorry. I have the water.
We can start.
Hare Krishna, everyone. We are here with one more incredible interview. Tonight we have with us not anybody less than His Holiness Indra Swami. Welcome. It's a series from the Ministry of Cow Protection and Agriculture. And Maharaj, you're really asking yourself, who was an intimate associate of Srila Prabhupada, why cow protection and agriculture were important to Srila Prabhupada?
Well, if you could simplify all the culture and all the philosophy of ancient India, which we could say Vedic culture or Vedic civilization, it could be put in a phrase which Srila Prabhupada gave us, simple living with high thinking. And both simple living and high thinking are achieved by, agriculture and cow protection. First of all, Srila Prabhupada said that all of one's needs can be satisfied, material needs can be satisfied with just an acre of land and a cow and a bull.
Right.
Now, this sounds incredible to perhaps people from the Western culture who think success is to have everything and have it all, have it all and have it now. But if one is spiritually satisfied within one's heart by dint of one's relationship with Krishna, then really one doesn't need so many material possessions. We should live according to our need, not according to our greed. So this brings in the cow and the bull, because if one has an acre of land, the cow can give us milk and yogurts and butter, etc. And the bull can plow the fields. And from that we get fruits, we get grains, we get vegetables, etc. So it's a perfect formula. If one is to accept a very simple way of life, and again that depends on one's spiritual progress. So of course in India, previously, and hopefully we'll revive this culture, people were mostly interested in their spiritual progress. So they very happily accepted a simple life with high thinking. So one's economy can be satisfied with a cow and a bull and an acre of land. And the importance of the cow can never be overstated, because Prabhupada said the cow gives us milk, which in Srimad Bhagavatam he defines as a miracle substance. This is a pretty radical statement for Westerners. Milk is a miracle substance. Miracle means something that contradicts the laws of material nature. Really it means divine intervention. So Krishna has given human society a cow, because from that milk of the cow one can replenish one's brain cells. Because as we grow older, naturally the body begins to break down, including the brain. So by drinking hot milk in the evening, and in the beginning of the movement, Prabhupada encouraged us to read Krishna book in the evening with hot milk and gur, the brain cells are replenished. And this is especially important in Kali Yuga, especially at our present time, because people live such an artificial way of life. The food they eat is containing so many preservatives and so many chemicals, etc. It's not good for the body. They have very bad habits. They drink alcohol and take so many drugs, etc. People are very dependent on drugs, and this destroys the brain. And we need the brain for what? Not just for fulfilling our material needs, but most important, we need a good brain to understand Vedic philosophy. Like Srimad Bhagavatam or Chaitanya Charitamrita, or various books like this. These are there for human beings. So you need a brain to understand it. So this is the gift of the cow. The cow gives us that milk, which allows us to replenish our brain cells and understand philosophy. So this is a dynamic combination. Agriculture and cow protection. One can meet all of one's material needs, as I stated earlier, and one can achieve one's spiritual goal in life by understanding Vedic philosophy and practicing Vedic philosophy. So here at Gora Village, I see this being embodied. It's the whole concept here, simple living and high thinking. This is a structure which devotees can come and be part of and live just as our forefathers here in India live, and very peacefully in a very quiet and beautiful green area, in association with so many other Vaishnavas. It's a no-brainer. It's perfect. And this is what Prabhupada wanted. In fact, when Prabhupada first came to America, he gave us, temple life because we needed to come together to learn the process of Krishna consciousness. But he also wanted farming communities, where devotees could live away from the city life, the concrete jungles. They could live the simple life in the country, and there we could demonstrate the value of cow protection. And we've seen in our ISKCON movement that our cows, because we protect our cows and we also give them a lot of love and devotion, our cows give more milk than other farmers nearby. This is a very practical result of cow protection. We protect our cows so they're living entities, they feel protected, they feel loved, they give more milk. And a cow naturally gives more milk than is necessary for her calf. That milk is meant for human society. So Prabhupada, we have the theory, I'm speaking the theory, but Prabhupada wanted it to be demonstrated in these farming communities. And I feel this is something, unfortunately, that at least my generation of disciples, Prabhupada's disciples, we have not yet achieved this. There's many things we have achieved. We've, Prabhupada said one time, Hare Krishna is a household word. But when people really become interested in Hare Krishna, they need to see a demonstration of simple living and high thinking. So Prabhupada said at one time, closer to his departure, that he had yet fulfilled the other half of his mission, which was to establish Varnashram Dharma. It really means a community of people living according to Vedic principles. So these farm communities, these smaller communities like Gora Village, which demonstrate simple living and high thinking, they're really fulfilling Srila Prabhupada's dream. We fulfilled half his dream. Not really we fulfilled it, we're on our way. But I feel this particular project, other projects like it around the world, Prabhupada will be very pleased, very, very pleased to see this concept of simple living and high thinking, according to the Vedic understanding, cow protection, agriculture. He'll be very pleased and he'll bless any project like this. I'm amazed. I've come here and this project is only a couple of years old, but already it's manifesting. The theory is there and it's getting a lot of support. It should get more support. It should get more support because this is what Srila Prabhupada wanted. And unless we do things like this, what direction will the world have? They can read our books, but they have to see it in action. Otherwise, they'll continue their demoniac civilization, where they actually cause harm to the cows. Actually, Prabhupada said one time, it's a strong statement, but he said that both World War I and World War II were the result of cow slaughter. This is a very strong statement, but actually this is what Srila Prabhupada said. The world has to pay a price for harming and killing the cow because we know the cow is very dear to Krishna. Namo Brahmanya Devaya, Go Brahmanya Hitaya Cha, Jagadhitaya Krishnaya, Govindaya Namo Namaha. Two things are very dear to the Lord. The Brahmins, why? Because Krishna comes and he speaks the Gita, the absolute truth for the benefit of society. Then he goes and the Brahmins carry on. So Brahmins are very dear to the Lord. But cows are especially dear to the Lord. How do we know that? Because in Braj, because in Vrindavan, which is the playground of the Lord, it's his personal home, his abode, where he freely associates with his loving devotees, he spends the most time with the cows. He doesn't go out and herd with a herd of brahmanas. he spends almost the whole day. Early in the morning, Krishna goes to the forest of Vrindavan to, help the cows get their grass. And he's always tending to the cows and worrying about them, etc., etc. So the cows are very dear to him. So dear that when Mother Yasoda complained that Krishna was not wearing shoes during the day, she said, Lala, why don't you wear shoes? And Krishna said, Maya, you see my cows. I love my cows. They don't wear shoes. They go to the forest. They don't wear shoes. So honoring my dear cows, I also go barefoot. And that's very nice because as you walk around Braj, in the old days, and even now you can see in the stone footprints of Krishna, here, there, and everywhere. And the gopis loved them so much they wouldn't sweep them away when they were sweeping the kunjas in Vrindavan. So in all these ways, we understand it's very practical, simple living and high thinking. It's a very easy way of life. I mean, the easiest way of life you could live in the material world. And it's by doing it in ISKCON, such as we're doing here in the Gora village, we're setting a good example. It pleases Krishna, and we're following this Braj culture. This is the ultimate Vrindavan culture. Krishna's a cowherd boy, and he lives in this type of environment. So we're aspiring to go home. Home means Goloka Vrindavan. The best way to practice getting back to Goloka Vrindavan is to live in Gora village.
Hare Krishna. Maharaj, you're a deep lover of Raj, inhabitant of Raj, and I think you've achieved so much in communicating with the ISKCON movement. How important it is to relate to that bhakti with purity and devotion, and everybody celebrates your contribution. And now, as you speak about the cows and that connection, it seems that there's a lot to be gained for the youth, like they have gained with Kirtan. In what ways could the youth engage themselves more as they have engaged in your kirtans, in your tours, your festivals? In what ways could they engage more with this lifestyle, the cow protection, with agriculture?
Well, they should come here and work. I remember at one Mayapur festival, devotees were getting sick. This is back in the 1970s when Srila Prabhupada was present for those Mayapur festivals. And he was encouraging devotees to be active, because if you're not active, if you don't, live a healthy, active life, you can get sick. And he noticed that different devotees were getting sick in around the festival. Perhaps some of the food, or just devotees weren't active. They were just hot, so they were sitting around. So Prabhupada's formula, he told them to go out and work. He said, you go out and work, and if you work, you'll be healthy. So young people like to be healthy, but rather than going to the gym, why not come to a community like this, where there's simple living and high thinking, go in the fields and help, with the agriculture, take the bales of hay and throw them onto the ox cart like that, work with the lawns, work with the grains, maybe rice will come. Work like this, and that's the best way to remain healthy, rather than going to a gym and trying to look nice in the bodily concept of life. You'll get a nice body here, and you also get Krishna's mercy because you're working on his farm. So I say they should come here and do some seva. I won't say work, seva on a farm. Farm boys are always very healthy. Farm girls are always very healthy.
It's a beautiful vision, Maharaj, and I hope we inspire the youth to take that lifestyle. The ministry is trying to help all these initiatives by doing consultancy, developing practical knowledge, bringing the leadership on board, and to show what Prabhupada really wanted. In what ways could the ministry be more useful? It's a ISKCON GBC initiative. How do you think it could be useful for our society?
They can come here and work in the fields, contribute, and they'll experience how wonderful it is to live in an environment like this, and they'll want to share their realizations with others. Of course, they are supporting this project, and I think it would be good to have, I know you have various leaders coming here. I'm the most insignificant one of all the names I've heard coming here. I think this is a good approach to get leaders here, ISKCON leaders, to come and see the project and then speak as I'm doing. I think it would also be good when the project gets a little bit more developed to have tours. You have a tour you have buses coming from, over at the main temple over there. You bring buses here, and bring groups of people, because although we don't always use this phrase, it's applicable here. Seeing is believing. So when you come and see something like this with your own eyes, it's very inspiring, and you're thinking, I would also like to live here. What do I have to do to, be part of this community? I think that will come as a result of first-hand experience. In publicizing things, the best way to do it is not necessarily newspaper or radio or TV. The best way to publicize something I've learned in my life as a devotee is by word of mouth. So have some tours, and people will start.
It's been wonderful having you here with us. Very enlightening for our society, and we need to do more. Talk to you more about this.
Yeah, well, I'm here, and looks like I'm going to be coming more and more back to Mayapur, because just so much nectar going on, and lots of devotees, lots of kirtan. It's sort of spontaneous here. The kirtans, every night there's kirtans in different places. There's lots of little ones, lots of children who are the future of our movement, and they also need time and association with senior devotees. So I'll be back again. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Maharaj.
All
It's a
glories
pleasure to have you here.
Glories to Prabhupada.
Jai, Hare Krishna. So from the Ministry of Cow Protection and Agriculture, it was a pleasure to have His Holiness Indra Swami.
Indra Swami.
Maharaj, just a small adjustment. We consider you like one of our top inspirations. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Was the light strong enough?
Cut. Yeah, perfect. Sure. Yeah.